what you got to say.
All right, folks, you know what time it is. We are kicking off with a red carpet look at the new movie called Richard Jewell. That's the new movie directed by Clint Eastwood about the 1996 Atlanta bombings. Now, I spoke to Eastwood and the stars of the movie about this Georgia film project and questioned him about the controversial portrayal of AJC reporter Kathy Scruggs. There is a little backlash about Olivia Wilde's character. What do you have to say to those critics who say not enough research was done for Kathy Scruggs' character? Olivia Wilde says she spoke with multiple people, authors of the book around the 1996 bombings. She also said she spoke with screenwriters, but the family, the only lasting member of Kathy Scruggs, which is her brother, Louis Scruggs Jr., says, hey, I never even got a phone call to consult with you about playing my sister. And a lot of people with the AJC, they say the same thing. We were never even consulted about this film.
John Travolta!
The thing that really rang true with me was your personal story on how you were the underdog getting this film to life.
When you say I want to make a big, epic American film in the 50s, and by the way, the hero has Tourette syndrome, like a lot of people's eyes sort of cross.
Take me to the moment that you said, I'm about to do something different in this industry, create my own rules, and create a studio.
You know what, I didn't set out with that in mind as much as I set out with, I just want to do this my way.
Burger King has a confession, and this one really angered me. Their new Impossible Burger is not 100% vegan. Give me a little taste of what it was like to film behind the scenes when you guys would stop filming.
He'd ask me questions about Moose, and he'd ask me maybe 2 to 3 minutes of improvisation, and then suddenly I'd feel it.
What was that scene like when you were kissing him and, you know, getting out of bed and that whole thing?
Well, you know, I'm an artist, you know, so I have to get it right.
Talk to me about the special effects, the behind the scenes, the bromance, everything.
We really did everything. There was no stunt guys.
How did Atlanta aid in your performance and deliverance of this role?
Well, Atlanta was very good to us.
There was also the Belgian witch. I gotta bring this up. She would
Fly around and
If Francesca didn't go out and spread the word about our movie, we are in trouble, sir.
Mr. Perry! How proud are you of this man? He watched you growing up, and you said write something down, and he wrote his vision down because
is my little baby brother.
Your name is now on a soundstage at Tyler Perry Studios. What's one lesson that you've learned from Mr. Perry?
I can do anything.
Give me something, Cooper.
Could I tell you that no one knows?
Give it to me. You still competing with folks?
No, I actually don't. That's a good question. I don't compete with anybody anymore. I compete with myself.
22 nominations. Who does that, George?
We do that.
I have a sneak peek for you of the new movie out today. It's called Waves. And guess what? I spoke with the stars of the movie, Mr. Sterling K. Brown, Taylor Russell, Kelvin Harrison Jr. Take a look. Sterling, you gotta be honest with you, hated your character in the beginning. I said, you know, I liked you, and then I said, I'm starting to resent him. Then I said, I'm starting to feel what Tyler's feeling. How did you balance that yin and yang? The biggest pro here is obviously security, right? But there are a lot of cons as well. A lot of people are concerned about their personal data being stored with the government, which of course alarms and concerns people. But another con that I saw when I was reading an article in Forbes was this facial recognition is really keen when it comes to white males' faces. However, when it comes to women and also people of color, it can misidentify people. And of course, yes, and that can be a concern when it comes to trying to hunt someone down if something bad happens.
Well, now that is a serious concern, yeah.
That is your Rush Block, your top news, weather and traffic in 5 minutes or less. Claims of discrimination aimed at a Walmart in California. Police are investigating a body that was found in the bed of a truck on South Point Drive. People don't realize that these are everyday situations that happen, not just for this 12-year-old little girl, but also just even in the workplace. A brother not being hired because he has locks. A lot of you DM me, a lot of you say, how do you wear your natural hair? Well, thank goodness I have a news place, 11 Alive, and Tegna, who support women who wear natural hair. The film industry here is $9.5 billion. It employs 92,000 people, and that was just last year alone. There could be a studio boycott, meaning lots of jobs could be ended immediately when it's not necessary.
Guten Morgen, Leute. Ich bin auf Linderhof Kassel in Deutschland und es war sehr schön. Wir sind hier, Schloss Neuschwanstein. Und ich habe eine neue Freundin getroffen.
But customers of Sublime Donuts get to taste them every single day. Where do these ideas and flavors come from?
They just pop up in my head. Let's do a little donut cheers.
Okay. I really do not like sweet potato, pumpkin pie. I know. I don't. I'm like, pie. Those pies don't even. You guys both lean. He said, I'm so successful because I always showed up on time. I never had this air about myself. And I realized and I remembered why I got into this career. So his speech was inspirational. Also, I got to shout out my girl, Ellen DeGeneres. She also received an award as well for her dynamism just in this industry.
The Carol Burnett Award.
Exactly, the Carol Burnett Award. And in 1997, she was the first woman to come out on television openly saying, I am gay. And then in 2003, she came back with her comeback with the Ellen DeGeneres Show, which is long reigning. So just seeing their stories and hearing their stories, I think we can all attribute to our own personal lives. Just stay humble and passionate about what you're doing.